Reality TV for us in the future.
Is it? Oh, joy.
Joy. Let's talk about another thing that won't die.
What are we talking about?
Let's talk about another thing that won't die. We've got Richard B. Riddick. So before there was your favorite character, Dominic Toretto, there was Richard B. Riddick. This is a character that over the last 20 years is one that Vin Diesel has talked about as incredibly close to his heart. He has been featured, and I had to think about this for a minute to find out whether or not it was true. And I was like, yeah, it is. He's been in 3 movies, 2 video games, an anime production, and a motion comic. And I was like, has he really? And I was like, fuck yeah. And I've played both of those games. So I found it to be absolutely hilarious. Vin Diesel this week shared some concept art. I don't think it was made by AI on his Instagram. And so he showed Richard B. Riddick having like some sort of enhanced abilities that we got a glimpse of in the second film. But I don't recall seeing much of it in the third film. And so this film doesn't have a release date, but we do know that as of right now, it's called Riddick Furyan, which is the name of the planet and race that he is from. So it's Furya is the name of the planet. Furyan are the people. And so this film is supposed to feature him going back to that planet.
Wait, wasn't he the last one, though? Wasn't they wiped out? Wasn't that part of this? Yeah.
Listen, let me tell you, there was once upon a time, Obi-Wan was the last one too. And now we're finding out that Order 66 has lots of motherfucking holes in it. Just like Jedi squirting out here.
Them clone troopers couldn't fricking hit the broadside of a barn any better than the stormtroopers that came after. So many freaking Jedi survived.
So many freaking Jedi
that they shouldn't have. Order 66, my ass.
Maybe
66 because they're elite.
Maybe their communicators were faulty, Carl. They had faulty communicators.
I whatever. It's just God. Why do people worship George Lucas? Like the guy is a good ideas guy, but he can't write worth shit, man.
What's your son's name, Carl?
Lucas. Damn right. No. But yeah, it's ridiculous, man. It is that whole Order 66 because it just actually when you've got so many Jedi on the other side, it just
Richard B. Riddick.
Yeah, sorry.
Focus.
That's your
Your question's over 10 minutes, Kyle. Stop messing with our 10 minutes that we're doing so well at sticking to. Not.
So Richard B. Riddick, not an actual Jedi, but there's some comps or some comparisons. Yeah. So this film we're gonna delve more into his origin. We're going to get to see what happened. It was hinted at in the second film, didn't do too well, so we didn't get a lot of that. He went big, then he had to go back small again for the third film. Hopefully to go big for this next one. We'll get to see a lot of that. I'm curious, you've seen a couple of these, right? Did you ever play any of the games?
I didn't play the games. I've seen all the movies, and I in order, I would say it's definitely 1, 3, and 2 for the order that I would give them merit. But I'd never played any of the games or read any of the other material that came through it. I wasn't that much of a huge fan of them. I just think that number 1 was great because of its originality as a sci-fi movie. It was great. Number 2 had some fantastic set pieces and stuff, but it definitely got too big for its boots. Number 3 I enjoyed because it kind of went back to its basic roots of number 1. I'm not saying they're outstanding films, all of them, but definitely I enjoyed them for what they were and what they tried to do. I'd be up for this 4th one, but I've no idea about the other lore, what was written in the movies, the games or the comics. Did you say there was an anime as well, or was it a manga?
There is an anime. So the games are a prequel to the first movie. He talked about being in Butcher Bay and what happened to his eyes. So you live through that playing the game. The animated movie takes place between the first and second film, so you get to see what happens when he escapes the planet with Keith David and one of the other folks that survived that planet. Yeah.
Well, it sounds cool. I mean, I don't know if it was, but
yeah, it was good for what it was. Like you're like, and I think I was in college at the time. I was like, yeah, this is perfectly fine. Yep. So I'm up for this. I enjoy that character. I'm curious where this is going to end. Is he ever going to get to the point where he's like, okay, I've made the definitive X number of films in this series, and I've done it because the last film came out.
When you say X number, Jonesy, do you mean he's going to make 10? Was that a subtle, clever reference when he's done X number of movies?
No.
Oh, okay.
So that could have gone two ways, right? That could have been his franchise Triple X, and it also could have been Fast and Furious. Like, he's just all over it. No, I guess I'm just really curious where this series ends, because the last time we saw it was 10 years ago. 10 years ago.
Wow, has it been 10 years, dude?
10 years.
Jeez. I think the last one was a good place to leave it. I was happy to be done with that. So who knows what will come with this fourth entry. One of the reasons I think I enjoyed them as much as I did, for a multitude of smaller reasons, but the main reason is because he doesn't talk much, and I think I prefer my Vin Diesel not to talk very much. I really do. Stick to saying I am Groot over and over again, and that's about as far as I can go. So if he just says I am Riddick lots of times, then I'm okay with that.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that. You just reminded me. We didn't even talk about that. The very end of Guardians. You
got a speaking line. That wasn't correct words, but yeah.
I don't want to. We're out of spoilers for the other thing, so I don't want to say it now. But I can't believe we totally forgot to talk about that. Yeah. We'll see what happens. I'm really curious. I really enjoy that. I enjoy the franchise and enjoy the series. I'm just curious where it will end, and whether or not we'll have to wait another 10 years after this one comes out.
I'll be dead by then. I'll be gone.
Hopefully.
Oh, fuck you.
Speaking of animated features.